Hare Krishna. So before we start the class, we'll do the quick revision. So today we have 3 devotees to do the revision. So mantra 13 is by Prasanatma Prabhu, 14 is by Satyabhama Mataji, and 15 is by Vijayagopi Mataji. I humbly request to keep your presentation short because just we have to cover 3 verses, so we can take 5, 6 or 7 minutes max. That would be good. Okay, Prasanatma Prabhu, if you like to share the screen, I can stop sharing.
I've just written some notes too.
Sure, Prabhuji. I'll open the verse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So first I'll read the translation. Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. So these verses comes, this 13 verse comes under 12 to 14, which is the, one second.
Yep,
12
I
to
got it.
14. Yeah. It's in terms of worship, that is absolute and relative, that is Sambhuta and Asambhuta. Sambhuta is worshipping the Supreme Lord. Asambhuta is other than Supreme, like demigods, like ghosts, some man-made spiritual leaders and all those things. So I think 12 they are covered about mostly about worshipping Asambhuta, and 13 mostly focuses on worshipping Sambhuta. So let me start with that. Okay, so I'll read the verse. Translation. So the translation says, it is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. So this is the translation. So it starts with the main keywords you told, like one is Dhira and Asambhuta. So Dhira here means for the acharyas, or the teachers who come in the Guru Parampara. So who are Dhiras, like who can, from whom we can hear actually. So in the beginning, they're given the qualities of Dhiras, like who are not disturbed in any material situation, like Sukha, Dukkha, Man, Apaman, Stuti, Ninda, and all this. Yeah, like if you take the, like if you see the verses from 214 or 6.7, this is explained there. And yeah, that's the qualities of Dhira. So we should be hearing from these authorities about the Sambhuta, the Supreme Lord. So then we talk about what will happen if you worship other than the Supreme Lord. Like it is told in Bhagavad Gita 9.25, like if you worship demigods, you'll go to demigods' planets. If you worship ghosts and spirits, you'll go to ghosts, their planets. And if it's forefathers, you'll go to forefathers. And if you worship the Supreme Lord, you'll go to Supreme Lord's planet. So it's not that every, whatever you do will go to the same destination. That is, it's not the right thing. Prabhupada gave the example of, like, if you go to buy a ticket to one place, like say Calcutta, then you can reach only Calcutta, but not to other places. So that's one example he has given for that. So not all worship will take to Supreme Lord. That's what the point here is proved. Then next point is like, who can understand this knowledge? The qualification given is like you should be like Arjuna, who is a devotee of the Lord, and you should be a friend of a Lord. Like you shouldn't be an envious person, who should be favorable to listening to the Lord, and you should have faith in the Lord. Only those people can understand the teachings about the Lord when it is heard from the proper Acharya. So here about again, it talks about when you hear from them, finally we'll be surrendering to the Supreme Lord, which talks about in 18.66, like Sarvadama Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So that is the ultimate thing. So by hearing from the authorities, so we'll be reach the supreme destination, that is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Then the point spoke about is why Krishna, like why you have to surrender to Krishna, why he is the supremacy. Then you give the examples of Pramana, Shabda Pramana. You gave one from Vedas, one from, that is Shruti, one from Shruti, that is Vedas. Then you gave from Smriti, and one from Purana. So in Shruti, you gave Vedas, that is from Atharva Veda, that is Gopala Tapani, and one more Narayana Upanishad. These two Upanishads you gave. And second one in Smriti, you gave From Itihasa, that is Moksha Dharma. That's one example is given about the supremacy of the Lord, where it is explained in detail. And also from Puranas, you said Varaha Purana. So these are the three places where the supremacy of the Lord is explained. I'm not going to explain in detail. And also in Bhagavad Gita, which is this verse, Prabhu, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu,
10.8.
Yeah, 10.8. So these verse proves the supremacy of the Lord. So that's the three pramanas, so which proves the supremacy. Then we talk about the hearing from the Dhiras, what happens when we hear from the Dhiras, because their heart is pure. They are always in touch with the Supreme Lord. So when we go and approach them and hear from them with faith and love, so we also get connected to the Supreme Lord. So that's that is the advantage of hearing from the acharyas who are always in thinking and glorifying and worshipping the Lord. So that's one thing about why we should hear from the authorities. Further, it is explained. Then we spoke about the real welfare activities. What is real welfare activities? Like, is it Manava Seva or Madhava Seva that we discussed? So actually both is important, but more important is saving the soul, actually. So Manava Seva, it's required because food, shelter, and they're required for everyone. But that will always give greed, actually. Even if you help someone, that greed will not. You give something, they'll be satisfied, but still there'll be something which they will not be fully satisfied. Even if you help someone, that is only temporary. It's required, but you cannot satisfy a person. But if you take to Krishna consciousness, even though you may not know that devotee, but just by somehow we like the devotees. I don't know how is that. We may not be talking to them, but just by seeing the devotees, we feel happy. So that is the difference between serving the body and serving the soul. So by taking to Krishna consciousness, we'll be serving both. Actually, you gave the example of what is it? Food for life. Like when you distribute prasadam, or when some natural calamities happens where they go and distribute food. So by that they are purifying their soul, and also they are purifying their body, mind. By that they become receptive for listening to these spiritual topics, and that will benefit both the body and the soul. So that example you gave. So just helping. Say, what is it? When a person is drowning, if we are just helping to, if you're trying to save him, it's just like, it's just serving, like, what is it? Drowning man just serving the what do you call it?
Saving
just
the coat.
Serving the coat, but not the body. So that example you gave. So actually, yeah. So basically, we have to. What you're saying is like we should take the spiritual path. Then it will serve both body and the soul. That's what you explained, bro. Then you also gave an example from 518, where you told that Keshav Maharaj told that, that sloka, like Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmani Gavyastine. Like if one who is spiritually advanced, he'll see everyone in equal vision. So by that also there will be peace in the world. So in all means, taking to spirituality is better for the humanity, and also for the other species also, will not be harming other living entities. And you also told about by loving Krishna means what do you mean by loving Krishna? Like loving the Supreme Lord, then loving the pure devotees who are loving the Lord, and also the devotees who are aspiring to serve the Lord, and all the living entities whom the Lord loves. So if we follow this, then we'll be having no issues with one another. So we love all living entities and human beings. And conclusion is, so in this age, I might be missed something, but I'm just covering the crux. So the conclusion is, in this age, the way of worshiping the Supreme Lord is chanting the holy name of the Lord. And by doing that, so our body, all our material attachments will go away, and our mind will become clean and clear, so that we'll be very receptive for hearing about the Lord, worshiping the Lord. And that is real Sambhuta. Like, we'll come and connect with the Lord. And if you take the other one, the 12th verse, where it is like only darkness. If you worship demigods, we'll go to their planet, but again you have to come back. And even if you go to the last one, like impersonalism is they go to this spiritual world in the Brahma Jyoti, but they live there for eternity, means for a long time. But since we are, as a soul, we are meant to serve the Lord, they cannot stay there forever. It's like a punishment. And finally, they'll be praying to the Lord to release them from there, and they have to come down again and do some philanthropic work. And again, they have to go into the cycle. And if by chance they may Bhavanam Janmanamante, they may again take to Krishna consciousness. So best is to take to the worship of Supreme Lord. That is the best approach, bro. That's what this verse is saying. Sorry, bro. That's what
Very nicely explained, Prabhuji.
yeah.
Like within 9 minutes or 8 minutes, you explained the whole philosophy very well. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice points. Okay, Satyavam Mataji, whenever you're ready.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll just open the verse unless you need the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
You have something to share, Mataji?
I don't know how to share, Prabhu. I have opened it in my own laptop and I have my own notes.
Okay, no problem, Mata.
Okay. Prabhu, in this verse, just to give a connection between verse 13 and verse 14, we were in verse 13, we were talking about demigods, Mayavad, social service, and under this mantra of Manav Seva and Madhav Seva, and then also about little bit about Sambhuti and Asambhuti. However, in this verse, in mantra 14, we are learning about how do we balance between Sambhuti and Asambhuti. So I'll just give a little word-to-word meaning for this verse. So Sambhuti means the creator, which is Lord Krishna, and Sambhutim cha vinasham cha. Vinasham cha means the temporary creation, which is also by Krishna, which is like men, animals, and all humans, demigods, everything comes under, and this material world as well, which is meant to be vinashanam, which is destructible. And yes, tad vedo bhayam saha, like these, the person who knows both of these, vinashena mrityum tirtva. So that person will surpass death by attaining liberation and by getting the connection with the Lord. Sambhutam amritam ashnute, and then he enjoys the eternal life by being in the superior spiritual abode in the presence of Lord Krishna. So this is just the crux of this verse, and I'll just go one by one. So in Sambhutim refers to anything that is used for the service of Krishna in the material world. So even though we are in material world, it has been mentioned that how one can be in the material world but still can do the service of Krishna by dedicating all those activities for the pleasure of lordships, and that's how we can go to the spiritual world of Krishna as well. And Asambhutim is the temporary world. We must accept that everything is temporary in this world, including demigods, material world, this body, men, animals, everything is temporary. But people don't understand, and some modern scientists, they believe that they can win over death, old age, disease, and everything. But no matter how hard they try, that is not going to happen, and it is not possible. So if one accepts that that these are all temporary, and we must work towards how to attain Krishna, who is Sambhuti, and basically we have come to this world, we should understand that we should not get too much attached. We should do our business and then move on. So we shouldn't be getting too much attached. And I was listening to one of the lectures as well, in which they mentioned that about a car. Now, like for example, if you get a new car, and if a little scratch comes on it, you get too attached to it, and you get, it's like your heart is broken. You cry, and you have so much sorrow. However, if you sell an old car and that car gets crushed by an accident also, you wouldn't be that much, your heart wouldn't be, so much in sorrow. So it's all about being in the material world, how we think and how much attached we have put ourselves. So we shouldn't put ourselves too much attached in this material world. Just think as if everything, whatever has been given to us, is by the mercy of the Lord. We should use that for the service of Krishna. Think about Krishna, constantly engage in the service of Krishna by association of devotees, listening to Hari Katha, chanting the holy name, and then our liberation would be possible. And I'll just take few important words, Prabhuji, and yeah. So Vinashena, there is a death-filled world and death-free world. So this material world is basically death-filled world, and nobody can surpass death being in the material world. And death-free world is the spiritual abode. When one gets liberated, then one can attain then one can surpass the death. And our main motive is to strive for eternal. So we must all work towards being eternal, how we can be eternal, and thinking that this human life is an important life, and which has been given to us by Krishna, and we must utilize it to the most for the service of the Lord. And we also talked about Brahma's life. Like people think that demigods are Amar. Sometimes we call them Amar, but they are actually not Amar. Their lifespan is counted by the withering of their flowers in their garland. And so basically everybody's life, even Brahma's life, even though it's a very long life, but it is not surpassing death. Everything is destructible except for Sambhutam, which is the Supreme Lord. And only by surrender to Krishna we can transcend death. And we must give up all the misconceptions to give up immortality. And the misconceptions are, for example, like I am God, I am the doer, and things like that is basically are the misconceptions, and we must get away from all of these misconceptions. We also talked about 6 laws of transformation, which is for living and non-living. And living goes through birth, growth, maintenance, reproduction, deterioration, death. And non-living is about creation, deterioration, and destruction. So everything in this material world is unstoppably irreversible, moving towards the destruction of death. And we must try to work upwards rather than getting entangled in the cycle of birth and death. We also talked about the life cycle of Brahma, Prabhuji. I'm not going to go about it because too much time. And yeah, for a devotee, this basically the devotee should take this body as the body given to us by Krishna, and not getting too much attached to it, and engaging it for the service of Krishna. And Manu Maharaj is teaching us death is approaching every second, every moment, and we should follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, how to come out of this material world and transcend towards the Krishna's abode. Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna.
Haribo. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Very nicely explained. In summary, I'm hearing so many nice points actually. I'm sure you could expand more, but we just don't have enough time. Thank you. Vijay Gopi Mataji,
Yes, Prabhu.
whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So the connection between this mantra 14 and mantra 15, actually, till mantra 14, he was just describing about the different aspects of the Lord, but in mantra 15, he is praying for the revelation of Lord's spiritual form and mercy at this time of death. Actually, this is spoken when Manu Maharaj was in the jungle, who was doing tapasya, and then he was attacked by the Rakshasa. So death was nearing him. So in that intensity, he is doing this prayer, and he's asking for the Lord to reveal his beautiful face. So in that way, he's teaching us like death is approaching us anytime. So even we should be eager to see the beautiful face of the Lord.
Just one quickly. Anyone else remember a similar instance where another devotee was praying intensely in a similar situation?
Rajendra.
Gajendra. So we can remember both and just sort of connect it. It's a similar situation here. He's in an animal form, he's in human form, but similar situation, and they're both praying to Lord. And eventually what happens? Lord comes and helps. Both situations. So Lord here also appears and kills all the Rakshasas. In Gajendra also, he appears and kills the Graha. Please continue, Mataji.
So this mantra 15 explains that one must also understand Krishna's relationship with his spiritual potency, the Brahma Jyoti, in order to achieve realization of Krishna. And this verse is just explaining about the revelation of the face, and mantra 16 explains the rupa, to reveal the rupa of the Krishna. So let's go with the word by word meaning. So Hiranmayana Patrena, like Hiranmaya, like Krishna's body is golden. That is Hiranya is golden, and Patrena is the dazzling coverage of Krishna's face. And Satya is referred here as Krishna. I mean, it's referred in Garbhastuti that Krishna is called Satya, and Apihitam is covered. So his dazzling face is covered by, I mean, his beautiful face is covered by the golden dazzling coverage, and the Mukham is, of course, face. So what he is praying is, please remove that dazzling cover so that the devotee is Satya Dharmaya Drishyate. So your beautiful face can be exhibited to the devotees. And the word Pushan is also very, which is come as a sustainer. So, in which we have explained in earlier verses in Bhagavad Gita, like Krishna is the sustainer. He is sustaining in three levels: is the cosmological level, terrestrial level, and psychological level. And the next word is Apavrinu. So he is kindly requesting Krishna to remove the dazzling cover. So that is Apavrinu. So now let's go to paragraph 1. So in paragraph 1, Krishna, the word Pushan is explained. Pushan is the source and maintainer of everything, including Brahman and Paramatma. So Prabhupada has given so many reference for this word. So in Bhagavad Gita 4.27, Brahmanohi Pratishtagam, and he says that I am the foundation of the effulgence of the Brahman level. And again in Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Mata Paratara Nanyat, and again in Bhagavad Gita 10.42, in which he explains about that Ekam Shena, that is fragmental part that supports the entire universe. So in paragraph 2 to 5, I mean the last line of this verse is explained, Satya Dharmasya Dharmaya Drishyate. So how Krishna is revealing himself beyond Brahma. So an important word here is Anandamaya Bhashya. Like we all are Anandamaya Bhashya, but we can't experience it right now because we are conditioned souls. Whereas Krishna is fully experiencing it because he has got the spiritual body. And here it explains that how Krishna is revealing his face to the devotees who doesn't do any papa. Like how he is displaying is by doing the pastimes in Vrindavan to prove that he is a person. And in that, it's an important word here in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.12.9, Krita Punya Punjana. So that means he will allow his devotees who has never done a papa. In that, papa is not literally meaning that we are not doing any impious activities, but like punya refers to that not impious activities. It is the unalloyed devotional service which we perform. So if you do such performance with unalloyed devotional service, then Krishna will allow those devotees to participate in the pastime in his Leela. So in paragraph 4, Prabhupada proves that Krishna is a person who is interacting with his devotees in the 5 rasas like Shantarasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, and Madhurya Rasa. So that he is confidently telling that Krishna is a person. He is not in an impersonal form. And also it says that in paragraph 5, Krishna would never leave Vrindavan. That means that there may be a question, if he doesn't leave Vrindavan, and how is maintaining the whole creation. But then Prabhupada explains here he can manage the affairs of the creation by his just plenary expansion as Paramatma. And in paragraph 16, it go beyond analysis and impersonal realization to know Krishna. So in that, it explains that the Sankhya Yonis, what they do is they just analyze and meditate on 24 factors of the material creation, and they don't have or very little information about the Lord. Whereas the other impersonal transcendentalists, they are attracted only on the Brahma Jyoti. Only devotees would love to see Lord's face, and that's why it's they are praying like to remove the Hiranmayana Patra. And the impersonal realization, they have no knowledge of Lord's potency. And in paragraph 7, it explains that. And the knowledge of only material potencies, and by explaining the 3 Purusha avatars. So in the like Paramatma realization is like why we can get it through the Purusha of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And Garbhodakashai Vishnu is the collective super soul of all living entities, whereas Karanodakshayani Vishnu is in the casual ocean, who lies in the casual ocean. So Krishna, he comes to the material world and comes through. We had like a discussion about how whether Krishna is supreme or Vishnu is supreme, and you explained that Krishna is coming to this material world, but he is using Vishnu as a gateway. But Krishna is the source of all the avatars. So, and then we were explaining about like, the Kala avatar and Amsha avatar. So like Balaram is the direct avatar of Krishna, whereas the other plenary expansions are the Kala avatar. They are Amshas of Amshas. So, and also here Prabhupada explained that what is Brahmajyoti, the qualities of Brahmajyoti. The quality is just a white light, and it's light of all lights, and they are free from any material contamination. So it is beyond the material covering, and it is in the spiritual lean. And when there is a Brahmajyoti, there is no need of moon, sun, fire, or electricity. And it is the illumination in the material world. Actually, what we are getting the light here is just the reflection of the spiritual illumination, which is Brahma Jyoti. So it spreads through the material and the spiritual skies. So in paragraph 18, Prabhupada was explaining about the difference between Anu Atma and Paramatma. So Anu Atma is never equal to Paramatma. It's always the superior. Paramatma is always superior. So and also he explains about what is perfect knowledge. Perfect knowledge is knowing Krishna as the root of Brahman effulgence. It's not like how impersonally it says that Brahman effulgence is above Krishna. It's not like that. The perfect knowledge is that Krishna is the root of Brahman effulgence. And also Srila Prabhupada mentions in that about Srila Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva says that one describes the supreme truth as Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan according to one's realization. But Vyasadeva never says that individual soul is supreme. If he mentions like that, then why here Manu Maharaj is praying that please reveal your dazzling cover. So living entity could see that real face, so he is always inferior to Paramatma. So in the conclusion, in paragraph 9 and 10, Prabhupada mentions as only Bhagavan realization is complete. In that he is giving comparison. One who has full knowledge of the potencies of supreme truth, he realizes only impersonal Brahman. Whereas in the Paramatma realization, they realizes only the material potencies of the Lord. And they have very little knowledge of the spiritual potencies. Whereas the Bhaktas who realize that Supreme Personality of Godhead has the full potency, and he is the root of both Brahman and Paramatma. So actually it was mentioned that Bhagavan is the root and Brahman and the Paramatma are the branches from that root. So we can, you have given some examples of how this can be realized, like in different examples we have seen, like the sun and sun globe, the train and the compartment of the train, and the mountains, and then when we go near we can see the trees and birds and everything. So similarly, the devotee can understand all the three levels. He has got the complete knowledge of what Bhagavan is. And also it gives, in paragraph 10, it concludes that in the Yoginam Avisharvesham, that verse, in which it says like ordinary fruitivity workers are karmis, they are better than jnanis. Jnanis are better than karmis, and yogis are better than jnanis, but devotees who really wanted and constantly want to serve the Lord are the best. So here the devotee is like Manu Maharaj is asking Lord to reveal his beautiful face and remove his dazzling covering so that he can enjoy the beautiful face of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribo. All three devotees did so wonderful. I'm feeling like you should be giving classes. I should be hearing. It's just we should switch over the places. Thank you. It's very nice. You all done.
Just repeated whatever you said, Prabhu.
Mataji, what I'm saying, I'm just reading and repeating. It's all Prabhupada's writing, but yes, very nice to hear. Very nicely summarized in very limited time. Thank you. Now, before we start today's class, which is verse 16, just a welcome to a newcomer between us who has been here with us for a long time, but still he's new. So he is our dear Nam Avatar Prabhu. So he has taken initiation from His Holiness Bir Krishna Maharaj last Sunday. So we would like to give him a big Hari Bol because it's his second birth, which is the real birth in ISKCON, at least we consider that. And we'd like to request all the devotees to bless Prabhuji. Whatever name his spiritual master has given, he makes that name very successful and also influences all of us and others as well to make that name successful. So we'll chant Hare Krishna for Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His grace Naam Avatar Prabhu ki Jai. So now Avatar Prabhu, please pray for us so that we can also have some interest in Naam, as you have and your Guru Maharaj has identified that. We can't hear you somehow, Prabhu, although you're on unmute. Okay, maybe nahi, Prabhu. Somehow. Anyway, maybe Krishna is hearing your message directly. Okay, no, it's very nice, Prabhu. You have taken this very beautiful step. So all devotees' blessings are with you, and you also bless us to have more interest, because at the end of the day, in the Kali Yuga, we have only one hope, which is Harinam. It's very nice, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, so last week we started verse 16. We read the verse and we read the translations. We haven't done much here. So I'll just quickly reread the translation and then we will start the verse. So verse 16, Isopanishad, O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so that I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun as I am. So as I said last week, just an introduction of this verse, this is a beautiful verse which is loved by both parties. Generally speaking, Prabhupada said there are two parties, two groups. One is the personalistic group, one is the impersonalistic group. So this verse is such a verse in Isopanishad which satisfies both of them. And what are the words which we can take from here? For the personalist, anyone can identify which word we can take from this verse in Sanskrit. You can look here, Devanagari, or in English. Rupam. Rupam. So Rupam cannot be of an impersonal state. Light doesn't have a Rupa. We don't say the light is beautiful. Yeah, light may feel beautiful. The globe may be beautiful from where the light is coming from. Air, we don't say air is beautiful. We can again feel the air beautiful. So any impersonal thing, gas, a cylinder, I'm remembering in my mind, right? The gas inside the cylinder, we don't say gas is beautiful. Actually, the gas is coming out, it's a dangerous sign. So we have not experienced anything in this material world where we say an impersonal object being beautiful. So in the last verse, as Vijay Gopi Mataji was also explaining 15, the word used in 15 was mukham. Mukham means mouth, face. And now when devotee Manu Maharaj here requested Krishna to remove the golden effulgence, Hiranyamena Patrena, so to remove the golden effulgence. So after the effulgence has been removed, what he is trying to see, what he is aspiring to see, beautiful face of the Lord. And there's another adjective he adds on top of the Rupa, which is again beautiful face, transcendental face of the Lord, Kalyan Tamam. So Kalyan means, I think everyone knows, even in Tamil or Marathi, Kalyan words is from Sanskrit. So Kalyan means very auspicious. And Tamam means, anyone remembers from Bhagavad Gita, what does Tamam mean? Everyone should know that one. Tama. Yes. Okay. No one remembers. Tama means ignorance, but here it's not ignorance because it's been added with Kalyan. So it's Kalyan Tamam. So it will refers to Kalyan, Kalyanatar, Kalyanatam. So if you remember from Bhagavad Gita, when we say when we compare two things, we say Kalyanatar, so which is higher version, and superlative degree will become Kalyanatam. So Lord's face is how? Kalyantam, the most auspicious. Sometimes we humans like to see each other's face. We may like a celebrity or a role model, whatever, and we say, oh, he or she is very beautiful. But that beauty is not auspicious beauty. Mostly, actually, it's inauspicious beauty, because that beauty will mostly degrade people. But when you see Lord, when you see Gopinath, what will happen? All the degradedness inside us will go away just by looking at the Lord. And that's why Prabhupada said, all the acharyas also said, you should try to go to temple and see Lord as much as possible. Just by seeing the Lord, all the anarthas will go away from our heart. And if we serve the Lord, it will go very, very fast. So Kalyantamam, so Lord's Rupa is Kalyantamam. Now let's look at some words here. Pushan, I think this was also used in the previous verse. Sustainer, poshne wala. Pushan means poshne wala. So Lord is the one who is sustaining us, as we discussed in the previous verse as well. Now Yama, we have Yamaraj. So Yamaraj means one who regulates all the regulating principles in this material world. So whoever is doing right, whoever is doing wrong, he judges everyone. Then he's called Yamaraj. So Yama refers to the regulative principle. We have Yam and Niyam. Anyone knows the meaning of Yam and Niyam? So Yam means
Do's and don'ts.
do's and don'ts. So what is Yam and what is Niyam? It's opposite actually. So Niyam means what we should do. Yam means what we should not do. So Prabhupada said 4 yamas. What are the 4 yamas? Which Prabhupada recommended to everyone, no
No
matter
meat eating, no
illicit
illicit sex, no gambling.
No gambling.
no
Four
intoxication, right? 4 yamas. And what is the niyama? Yes.
Chanting
16
16
rounds of chanting.
Minimum 16.
Minimum 16
It
rounds.
can be 32, like Nam Avatar Prabhu. He does. Or he's going to start soon. 32, 64. And we should do actually. We should do. Our society does not recommend only 16. And if we are doing that, it's nice. We are doing 16 round, but it's the minimum. I was hearing Gopal Krishna Maharaj just today in one of the videos, and Maharaj said to his disciples, when you take a vow, when you accept your spiritual master, so he will make his disciples make 5th vow. On Ekadashi, you chant 25 rounds. Minimum. Again, minimum. So all of the, Prabhupada also said that actually. But Prabhupada did not make others to make a vow on that. But the recommendation was, so we should chant 25, 32 on Ekadashi on different festivals. Because when we're going to chant otherwise, Bhagavad Gita says we should be chanting all the time. At least on Ekadashi, we should try 25, 26 rounds. I remember one devotee who will not chant 25, he'll chant 26. He said, one for Radharani, one for Krishna. So 25 is not. So 26 rounds. So you can make it even numbers. 26. And some devotees do 32 rounds, straight 32. I know one devotee, he does 128 every Ekadashi. Every Ekadashi of the year, not just one Ekadashi, Nirjala Ekadashi. Every Ekadashi, so 128. So if you can't do 128, Radheshyam Prabhu was telling in a class himself, Radhanath Maharaj, Holiness Radhanath Maharaj recommended Radheshyam Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu, and some of his, very close associates to chant minimum 64 rounds. And Maharaj said, it's a recommendation, not an instruction. Prabhu said that in the class. So, because I know you guys are busy, but Radheshyam Prabhu said, from that day onwards, I started chanting 64 rounds. Because when Maharaj is saying it, although he's not instructing me, but he's recommending. So it's for my benefit. So I don't know how Radheshyam, such a person like Radheshyam Prabhu can do 64. Why can't we do? It's just our mental boundaries. At least we should try 25, 32 rounds on Ekadashi. Anyway, that was just from Yam and Niyam. So Niyam, minimum Niyam is to 16 rounds chanting, and Vaishnav Seva, DT Seva and all that. Surya, Prajapatya, Vyuh kindly. Yeah, so this is very nice. Vyuh Rashmin Samuha. So Prabhupada writes, Vyuha means kindly remove. Rashmin, as we know, Rashmi means rays. So here the rays of the Lord's effulgent face. Samuha, kindly withdraw. So again, devotee is requesting to the Lord, please remove, please remove. I want to see your face. Why a devotee would like to see Lord's face? Any ideas? In material world, yes, you can have many ideas why we want to see someone, because it's our material desires. We like some rupa, we like to hear some music, we like to taste some some vada pav, paneer pakoda and whatnot, huh? That's okay. But why a devotee would like to see the Lord's face? Anyone?
He is the most attractive person in the universe, in the entire creation.
That is true, but I don't like him so much. Sorry to say that. I see Gopinath every day, for example. But I still have desire to see other rupas. So why this devotee is praying? That's a valid point, Prabhu, but I'm saying practically, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when one sees him, it will develop the attraction automatically.
Yes. Once you see him, so you may not have attraction as yet. That's fine. You don't have attraction for your spiritual master so much, but when you hear about your spiritual master, again, example of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, the more you hear about Maharaj, more you see some clips about Maharaj, huh? Or any other Maharaj for that sake, then you know how much this person has done, and then you start having a attraction towards that personality. Huh? You hear Prabhupada Leelamrit, you will have to love Prabhupada. You will have to love Prabhupada. There's no other option. But before Leelamrit, yeah, theek hai, old person is there. He established some temples. So what's a big deal? But once you start reading about Prabhupada, what he did, how he did, you're like, oh my God, how did he do that? So we fall in love. Once one of the Prabhupada disciples said to Prabhupada was training everyone that you should bow down to your spiritual master as soon as you see him. So he said, but Prabhupada, I don't feel like bowing down. What was Prabhupada's answer? You bow down first, the feelings will come later. Huh? This is called yam and niyam. So many times we may not feel like something, but that's fine. We still do it for our benefit because this is the instruction of acharyas. And then slowly we'll develop the attraction for that activity. We are doing deity worship, we are doing Nam, Japa, 16 rounds or whatever, however number of rounds we are doing. Initially, we don't have any attraction, but slowly and slowly and slowly, we get some attraction. My Guru Maharaj said in one class very nicely, you also have no attraction for Nam, but imagine I take your mala away. Imagine I take your mala away, what you will do? You will still be chanting somewhere in the corner of the temple, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. You cannot quit your rounds. That shows you have some attraction. That shows you have some attraction. Huh? So he said, keep on doing, and you'll start loving the holy name. You start loving the holy name. So it doesn't really matter if you don't have emotions for spiritual things as yet. If we are in the boundary of Acharya's instruction, we are completely safe and we will develop, no doubt about it. Okay, Teja effulgence, we done that. Rupam, Lord has a form, and we discussed about the Rupam, Mukham, face word earlier as well. Kalyantamam, this is very nice. So Lord's face will remove all the anarthas from our heart as soon as we see the Lord. Any examples from Srimad Bhagavatam anyone can remember regarding this point? One comes to my mind straight away, and there can be many more. Dhruva.
Four Kumaras smelled the tulsi.
Okay, they smell. Dhruva.
Dhruva
When
Maharaj.
Dhruva saw Hari, Narayan, and he didn't know anything that time. He was only 5-year-old boy. He didn't know how to write his name even. But when he saw the Lord and Lord touched the conch, Shankha, on his head, he was just putting all the verses. It's called 12 Adityas, Barah Aditya. So 12 verses Dhruva Maharaj spoke, and they're all called one Aditya, 12 sun. So much knowledge he got just by having darshan of the Lord. So that's why darshan of the Lord is extremely important. In Bhagavatam 10th canto, I remember another instance when all the Gopkumaras and the cows died by drinking the water of Yamuna, because in Yamuna there was a Kaliya. Lord just looked at those gwalas and the cows, and everyone came back to life just by the look of the Lord. That's why Lord look is called Amrita. Amrita means it will kill all the anarthas and it will bring real auspiciousness, So we should present ourselves in front of the Lord, whether it's your home deities or temple deities, better temple deities, but present yourself in front of the Lord again and again and again. You should see, make a habit of seeing the Lord again and again, listening the Lord, eating the remnants, whatever is offered to the Lord. That will bring most auspiciousness in our life. Tatte Pashyami. Now, Pashyami word is very, very clear. If I want to see something, there has to be two objects, isn't it? I cannot see myself. If I want to see, even if I want to see myself, I have to create an image. I have to have a mirror or something. Then I see my mirror image and I said, oh, I'm looking so ugly today. I'm looking so morose today, or whatever. Maybe we can think, I'm looking so beautiful today. Whatever. There has to be two people. Pashyami word is there. Drashtaye word is used. So drashtaye, pashyami proves there has to be two people. There has to be two person. Third example, you can say, if someone is making a prayer for someone, there has to be two people, isn't it? Usually we don't pray to ourselves, do we? I don't. I'm praying to myself that His grace so and so, or her grace so and so, please be pleased upon me. Arjun is praying to Krishna. Dhruv is praying to Narayan. Prahlad is praying to Hari. So there has to be two people. So Pashyami word is used. That also proves there has to be two people. Now, before I start the second part of this verse, I think Priya Mataji has something to add or ask.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I was thinking that remove the anartha of the prostitute who wanted to seduce the Haridas Thakur.
Yes, thank you. Very nice example. So it's not only Lord has the power, even devotees of the Lord has the power. Thank you, Mother. Very nice example. So we have been hearing about the glories of Nam, at least I can talk about myself, 20 plus years. We still have no attraction for Nam. Look at this prostitute, so-called prostitute. She was not doing a very good job, so-called in our terms at least. But just by sitting in association of Haridas Thakur for only 3 days, just 3 days, it says she became another Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was so powerful. He uplifted that lady. Another example which comes to my mind when Mataji has pointed that Narad Muni, when he saw this Nal Kuber and Manigriva, not instantly on that point, but he uplifted both of them. So it says Narad Muni saw a vulgar scene and he uplifted them. Ajamil saw a vulgar scene. What happened? He fell down. Which category we are in? I can talk about myself, Ajamil. No doubt about it. Ajamil, when we see something which is undesirable, we actually fall down. But Narad Muni, for example, was so powerful. When he saw these two boys, he uplifted them. So we, being Ajamil or the descendants of Ajamil, should be very, very careful. Very, very careful. What we see, when we see, accidents happen, what to do. But we are not Narad Muni. Many times devotees say, I've heard in classes, not heard physically, that whatever I see, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. You should never become overconfident. Never become overconfident. Because Maya, for Maya, Krishna say, Devi Heshai Gudmai, Mam Maya Duratyaya. Don't play with Maya. Prabhupada said once, if you are not enough fearful of Maya, Maya will surely attack you. Surely. Once Prabhupada was asked, are you fearful of Maya? No, sorry. Will you ever fall down? Prabhupada said, no, I will not fall down. And next day, Prabhupada was praying to Srimati Radharani, please, Mother Radha, let me not fall down in this Maya. So devotees asked Prabhupada, you said yesterday you will not fall down. So Prabhupada said, because I'm praying to Srimati Radharani, I will not fall down. So not on my own. I don't have Shakti. But because I'm praying, Radharani will reciprocate and will save me. Another example I heard in some class somewhere. If a mother taking a child to a shop or to a mall, for example, anyone has a small child, okay, we'll take Adi Dev Prabhu. A mother is taking Mr. Adi Dev to a mall where there are a lot of toy shop or candy shop, and the boy or the child is holding the hand of the mother. As soon as he will see a toy which he really likes or a candy, what he will do? Tell me very honestly. He will run towards that toy shop, isn't it? Or a candy shop or ice cream shop, whatever it may be. But if mother is holding the child of Adidev or a father is holding the child of Adidev, although he wants to run, but what will be the result? He will not be able to run. Sundar Gopal Prabhu will be holding it very tightly. Kahan ja rahe ho? Kahan ja rahe ho? So which is the safer position? Guru holding the disciple's hand or disciple holding Guru's hand? Which is the safer position? No one knows?
Holding the disciple.
Guru holds the disciple. So we should never be I am the good follower of my Guru Maharaj. hang on a second, just wait and let the next slap of Maya come in. Huh? No, you should be very, very submissive to your spiritual master. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to hear Sodium Speed Krishna Maharaj for some time. And Maharaj was saying the same thing. Huh? Guru should hold the disciple. Huh? Because disciple usually, Maharaj said that, Maharaj words, are not submissive. They are not submissive. Huh? So most of us are in that boat. We are not yet so submissive as yet. We have so many alternate attractions. So we should pray to our Guru Maharaj, pray to Srimati Radharani, Krishna, Vaishnava. You please hold us. Don't worry about me holding you. Because if you hold us, then I'm in the safe boat. Huh? So if we are in the radar, Radhesham Prabhu said, in the radar of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we will be safe. So what are the radar? Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Huh? So we may like it, we may not like it. It may be a little austere, that's fine. But as far as we are in those boundaries, our boundaries are Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Then the whole world may understand, misunderstand, praise us, insult us. That doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. As far as our Guru is pleased, sadhus, again, we are talking real sadhus here. And it's as per Shastra, as per our understanding. Even if it is against Shastra, for example, apparently, but if Guru has said that, what takes priority? Guru's order. Guru's order takes priority because Guru knows the Shastra and where to apply, what to apply. Again, but if Guru takes us completely against the Shastra, like Shukracharya, then we reject the Guru and go to Shastra. But that usually doesn't happen. Okay, so Tatya
Prabhuji,
Pasha.
sorry, I had
Yes.
another
Yes,
remember
Mataji. Please, please.
how Bhairavamanga Thakur also pierced his eyes and because he had
Attraction
seen
for the Rupa.
inappropriate. Yeah.
Yes, that's also a very nice example because he really had desire to see the Lord, but his eyes were attracted to his, rather eyes, we should say our indriyas, the senses were attracted. Now we can't do that, but we should at least try. And it says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw Jagannath for the first time, in external Leela we are talking, when he saw Jagannath, he felt unconscious, because as soon as he saw Jagannath, he felt unconscious. We cannot fall unconscious. We should at least fall down. So when you go in front of Gopinath, fall down. Full dandavat, no matter which expensive suit or dress you are wearing, full dandavat pranam. Please accept this rascal. This rascal is here in front of you. And you can see everything in my heart. Whatever other people say, it doesn't matter. Krishna knows everything inside out. So thank you, Mataji, for giving nice examples. It's very nice because theory is one, but examples comes, it really clarifies the concept. Okay, now the last part of this verse, which is the favorite part of this impersonalist. So we already proved that the same line has Pashyami. So Pashyami also proves there are two. Prayer also proves there are two. And we also saw Rupam Kalyantamam form as well. Now, when they say Soham Asmi, Soham. So what does Soham mean? Aham means me, so mane, that one. So I am that. Now what that is, that's always a sort of argument thing. So personalists and impersonalists are fighting over that thing. So Soham, as per a Vaishnava understanding, so absolute truth is a Brahman, and Soham, I'm also Brahman. So we agree with that. We agree with that. Absolute truth also has Brahman aspect. We also have Brahman aspect. Is it right or wrong? So we agree on that part. We don't disagree. But what we disagree with, absolute truth is just not limited to Brahman aspect. It has deeper aspects as well. The verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabdete. So 1 to 11. So it says Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. We discussed about this in the previous verses, so I'll not discuss too much about it. So Brahman is an aspect of absolute truth and us. And from this perspective, we are both qualitatively one. Qualitatively one. And on that also we can say all devotees sitting in this call, we can say we have one common feature. Anyone can say what's the one common feature we have? We can say we are all humans, isn't it? That's one common feature. Now, We can take one person or a group of people here, and we can say, okay, Narendra Modi, he's also human. So we have something in common. Okay. I have two eyes, he also has two eyes. Oh, another common thing. I have one nose, he also has one nose. I have one head, he has one. So we can find out, 30 things which are similar between Narendra Modi and myself, for example. I'll say, because 30 things are same, I am also Mr. X, Y, and Z. That will be a madness. Huh? So although we have something in common, but not everything. His position is different. And this is just a mundane example, obviously. So how can we compare a very tiny, insignificant, insect-like, mosquito-like soul to the supreme soul? We can't compare, but they say. So Soham, we agree with that. There's one lecture I was hearing, very beautiful. He said, a Vaishnava Guru said, Soham, I am that. A Vaishnava Guru, so there was a disciple who was looking for absolute truth, transcendence. So one a Vaishnava Guru said, please chant Soham, Soham, Soham. I am that, I am that, I am that. So Vaishnava Guru came and he said, okay, you can keep the mantra, just add da in front of that. So now it became da Soham, da Soham, da Soham. A Vaishnava Guru came the next day and said, oh, you are chanting different mantra, da Soham, da Soham. I will add another word on top of it. And he said, he added sa in front of it. Sada Soham, Sada Soham, Sada Soham. Vaishnava Guru came the next day again and he said, okay, again add da in front of it. And he said, Sada Dasoham, Sada Dasoham. No, sorry, Dasoham, Dasoham. I am the servant of the servant of the servant. Huh? Very beautiful. Huh? So Soham can be also looked at from different perspective. We are same, we are not denying it. We can say, okay, we are Indian, Australian, whatever. We can say that, that's no problem. We are also Brahman, we are also Satchidananda. We are part and parcel of the same absolute truth. No problem with that. So we are that. But that should be defined properly. That refers to the living entity's quality being equal to the Lord, not quantity. And this so, which also represents Brahman or the absolute truth, is only a part if you are interpreting from Brahman perspective, because Brahman has many more features. Okay, let's look into the purport of Prabhupada. We'll look quickly just with the headings here. So we can say para 1 and 2, Vihu Rashmin, the sun analogy. We already discussed that, so I'll not go in detail. You can read about it. Kalyantama, we discussed about it. Bhagwan realization is the most auspicious because this is the only place where a bhakta has an opportunity to exchange his emotions with Krishna. Otherwise, he cannot exchange the emotions. So Brahman has Ananda, no doubt about it. Paramatma realization also has Ananda, but Bhagwan realization is the highest because this is the highest rasa you can exchange with the Lord. Yes, one thing is very nice here. In para 4, Prabhupada is presenting a beautiful analysis of the meaning of the word Bhagwan. Usually what we hear from Vishnu Puran, Parashar Muni explains that. What does Bhagwan mean? Anyone remembers the meaning of Bhagwan, which we have read many, many times? Bhaga
It was
and...
a sixth opponents.
Thank you, Mohit Prabhuji. So Bhaga means opulence, Van means one who possesses. So like we have Dhanvan, Vidwan. Dhanvan means one who has dhan. Vidwan means one who has vidya. So we have Bhagwan. Bhag means opulence. And as Mohit Prabhuji said, so there are 6 opulences and we all have a part of that opulence. Like you're all rich, for example, and I hope you're all, but can you say you are the richest person in the whole existence? I don't think so. Any foolish person can make that statement. No wise person can make. You have some bala, okay, you have some strength in your body. You cannot say you're the having most strength. Similarly, for the rupa, you may be beautiful, that's nice, but you're not the most beautiful. And even if you think you're the most beautiful, tomorrow, let's wait. I saw a clip today. Someone sent me on WhatsApp, 30-second clip. And in this clip, there was an old face in the beginning of the clip. So I was interested, 30 seconds clip or something. So there's an old clip, and this was an Indian actress in her current form. At least in this clip it was. I don't know what's her age and all that. And then the clip goes from very old lady, which you see today's, on a very young photo. You see, this goes in black and white movies actually. So this celebrity, I can't remember her name. Anyway, so in this photo, and then he had 10 of those celebrities, and the title of the clip was "Time Never Leaves Anyone." They're all big celebrities. It has Amitabh Bachchan and all that as well, and Dharminder. So you see today's face, there is they are old people, old people. Yesterday they were so famous, people were dying to see them, but today no one wants to see them. So it says time never leaves. So all of us also same. So we are not just commenting on this other celebrities, Amitabh Bachchan or someone. They are also there. We are also there. My Guru Maharaj said, once you cross 50, it goes very fast, very fast. And after 60, you don't know. And at 70, you'll not even realize you have become a senior citizen. People will call you senior citizen. So all of us in the same boat. Very soon we'll be there if we are lucky or unlucky. God knows. God knows what tomorrow will bring us. So Bhagwan. So Jiva Goswami gives a very different meaning of the word Bhagwan. Little bit different from the traditional meaning which we are discussing. First syllable Bhagwan. So Jiva Goswami divides this Bhagwan into three parts: Bha, Ga, and Van. So instead of Bhaga and Van, he says Bha, Ga, and Van. So Bha refers to Bharta. Bharta means one who is doing the poshan, like Pita or father, Pati or husband is called the Bharta of the family. But Krishna is the real Bharta. Krishna is the real sustainer. Pushan word is also used in this verse. So Bha and Jiva Goswami says has two meanings. The first is one who fully maintains, which is Bharta. And the second is guardian. That is refers to Ga. Ga means Gamayate. I was reading, my Guru Maharaj said actually in the class, Gamayate. Gamayate means one who takes you. One who takes you, like a small kid, father or mother takes that kid from, say, home to temple. Chalo, aaj mandir jayenge. I'm remembering Vaishnava, for example. So, Papa or Mama, chalo Vaishnava, mandir chalenge. Vaishnava is very happy, or any other kid. So, that guardian who guiding this child from one place to another, and who is that guardian for us is Krishna. Even if he is given as devotees, spiritual masters, Shastra, by his guidance. And Van means he lives in every single living entity, and every single living entity lives in him. Van means Vas. So Bha is Bharta, Ga is Gamayate, and Van is Vas. So very beautiful meaning of Bhagwan word Jiva Goswami gives, which Prabhupada is referring here. Pushan, we discussed about the word Pushan. 6 and 7 jivas, his differentiated expansions, we discussed about that point. And Bhagwan can only be known only by those whom he favors. So now, not everyone can know Bhagwan. Anyone remembers the verse in Bhagavad Gita which says that? There are many verses. Mohit Prabhu is about to say something. Avajananti mam mudha.
Oh, sorry.
Avajananti mam mudha. Not everyone will know me. So many people will deride the existence of God, and that's fine. That's fine. So we don't have to always argue and try to defeat everyone because they are not ready. Prabhupada said, if you're eating beef, how you will understand God? Just one example Prabhupada gave. So if our mind tentacles are not receptible to receive that knowledge, will not be able to understand. So no matter how good argument we present, and no other opportunity can be if the saintly person is of very high caliber, then he can also make others chant. Again, remembering His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who went for some test, and I saw this clip, little video someone has put on the WhatsApp. I'm sure many of you would have seen. There was a nurse who was doing some measurements of Maharaj, and initially she actually denied to do the test. And later on, Maharaj was there, and he was very nicely dealing with this lady. And then later on, she repeated the whole mantra, and it was in the video: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. She repeated the whole mantra with Maharaj, and she was very happy serving Maharaj in that little way. So there was a 30-second clip. I think Hari Chaitanya Prabhu posted a few months ago, I guess. So and the title of that video was His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj is like a Narad Muni who's making anyone and everyone chant Hare Krishna. So it's so nice. So if a person is very high caliber, say like Maharaj or Prabhupada or other disciples of Prabhupada, they can make even others chant Hare Krishna without even them being receptive. Okay. So this is a very beautiful verse, and these two verses, 15 and 16, together combines, proves not only Lord is a person, but he's a very beautiful person. And by seeing that person, the most auspiciousness things will come to us. And we should remember Soham. We are, one thing I think Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, if I'm not wrong, we are not Krishna, we are Krishnas. हम भगवान नहीं हैं, हम भगवान के हैं. That's very nice, huh? So we cannot say we are India. Yeah, we are Indians. That we can say. Huh? We belong to that land. That's fine. We are not India. So we are not Krishna. We are not Bhagwan. We cannot be. But we are Krishnas. So that is what Soham refers to. Soham refers to. And even if you do a Vaishnava understanding, yes, we are Brahman. No doubt about it. We are Ishvara. No doubt about it. We are not Param Ishvara. Okay, let's move to the last two verses of this book, which is 17 and 18. They're also grouped together. And the theme here is for 17 and 18, protection against imperfection for the sincere devotee, prayer of practice. So what it is, I think which Gopi Mataji was explaining earlier. So we know the situation of Manu Maharaj. He was doing tapasya. He was attacked by Rakshasas. Lots of Rakshasas are coming and approaching him to eat him. So again, he is in trouble situation and he remembers the Supreme Lord. And in that, he has done 16 prayers so far. He has talked about Lord personal form. He has talked about Lord's Sambhuti. Lord, he is talking about Vidya and Avidya. Now, eventually, he's coming to a conclusion saying, whatever I have said up may work, may not work. But I still have one prayer that I am imperfect, O my Lord, and you please accept me. So all of us can very much relate to these two prayers, which is 17 and 18, because no matter how much seva we have done, we cannot say we are perfect. We know our imperfections, even others don't know. We know our imperfections. So these are very, very sincere prayer by a devotee to the Lord. Even if I'm not very perfect, please accept my services. I heard from Hanumat Preshak Maharaj, his Prabhupada disciple, very senior disciple. He teaches Isopanishad. So I was reading one paragraph there. So himself, when he was probably younger, and I can't remember, another sannyasi Maharaj. Anyway, they were going in a car somewhere. So somehow or other, their car got stuck in a very, very bad state. So Hanumat Prashad Maharaj told this other Maharaj, he said, why don't you pray to Krishna? Another Maharaj was, no, we should not have any material desire. If we die, we die. It doesn't matter. So he was very confident in that mode, which we always talk about. But after 5 minutes, Maharaj himself is telling, after 5 minutes, he rolled the window down and he said, Krishna, please help. So when we are in trouble, we can call out for Krishna. We should not think too much about it. Draupadi called out for Krishna. Gajendra called out for Krishna. Manu Maharaj, Swambhu Manu calling for Krishna. So we can also call for Krishna. But if it is a genuine crying of a child for a mother, Krishna will come and help. Krishna will come and help. And even if Krishna doesn't help, I remember Sri Prahlad Prabhu was telling in one of the classes, even if our physical body goes away, our faith should not go away. Many times we see the reciprocation of Krishna is not in our favor, and we say, oh, Krishna is not listening our prayers. But you don't know, actually. You don't know. Jiva Goswami says, Ajamil's fall down was not really a fall down. Now you say, Arey, Ajamil did not fall down? Not really, actually. Not really. Because he fell down at the age of 20, 21, something like that. And he opened his eyes around 88. So what's the loss? 67, 66 years of loss, right? In terms of zillions of lifetime, what is 66 years? Tell me, what is 66 years? That prostitute became her guru in one sense, isn't it? Through her, through the child of that prostitute, he got inspiration to fully surrender to Krishna. So was it a real fall down in that sense? No. Bharat Maharaj, did he fall down? No. Shastra says he did not fall down. He went to the body of a deer. No, he didn't fall down. He didn't fall down. So sometimes we judge others or others' activities on a very, front values, face value we call it, face value. We don't know what's inside. that fall down, a so-called unfavorable situation in our life can become the best inspiration to become devotee of the Lord completely. So in those situations, we don't know. We don't know what is good. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Ei bhalo, ei manda, ei sab brahma. Now, Nam Avatar Prabhu is there. He's a Bengali. I'm not. But it's very simple. It says, Ei bhalo. Bhalo means acha. Nam Avatar Prabhu is a kemno ache. Bhalo ache. Sometimes I think he asked or something. I said, Bahut bhalo ache. I don't know how to say bahut. Prabhu, we cannot hear you today. You have become completely transcendental.
খুব ভালো আছে
খুব ভালো
খুব ভালো আছে
খুব ভালো আছে okay খুব ভালো আছে anyway so you say ei bhalo ei manda. So many times we say, oh, this is my success, look at my success, I got such a great job, I'm so intelligent, I can give fantastic classes, I look so good, whole community knows me, this and that and that. Actually, that can become a reason of your fall down. I heard my Guru Maharaj lecture recently, which he gave in Vrindavan before the departure, and he was sitting in his room with his Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayadvat Maharaj, and another Prabhupada disciples, I can't remember the name. He came in the room, and from the door itself, he said, oh, Maharaj, your life has been so successful. You have achieved so much for Prabhupada. You have done so much service. He was just glorifying Maharaj from the door. While he's walking inside, he's glorifying. And Jayadvat Maharaj said, no, stop. And he said, why? This person who was glorifying, he said, he can still fall down. Jayadvat Maharaj is telling for Kadambakanan Maharaj, when he's about to depart, he said, he can still fall down, don't praise him. So this is a rule in Shastra. My Guru Maharaj is telling himself. So it's a rule. In front of sadhu, we should not appreciate, because he may feel pride. He may feel pride. So we have a duty for other devotees. Sometimes devotee praise so much. Hang on a second, can we handle those praises? Mostly not. Mostly not. We'll become pride. See, look at that. How fantastic class I gave today. Everyone said, Prabhuji, class was so nice. And no, it was all right. And inside my heart, I'm feeling so puffed up. Actually, that can cause damage to me. The devotee should be very careful how we deal with each other. We should not discourage, definitely not. And when we encourage, we should know how much this guy can handle. If we can handle, then only we should be very, very genuine. No space for buttering or false ego and all that. There's no space. It's all rubbish. But even in encouragement, we should be very careful. We should definitely encourage, but not in such a way that this person falls down. So Jayadvat Maharaj telling for Kadambakanan Maharaj, who's proudly telling this in the class, in the whole 500 people class, my Guru Maharaj said he can still fall down. So obviously he's telling for all of us. So we should be very, very careful how we deal with other devotees. Etiquette should be maintained all the time as much as possible. Okay, I'll take this question or comment.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu.
No,
Quick
please.
question. Actually, two questions, Prabhu.
Two questions.
Like
I love
sometimes
questions.
we say that if we keep praising another devotee, right? I mean, we can abide those qualities in us. So in that way, can we can get few qualities what we are praising about other
Yes.
devotees?
Yes.
Is that
If
true?
you're totally genuine. So I'll give you a live example. So it says personal realizations are the best. So one little one which I had with Shipalad Prabhu. So he gave a fantastic class, which he always gives. Anyway, after the class, genuinely I said, Prabhuji, class was very nice. You know what he asked? What did you like about the class? And I started thinking, I was totally genuine about Shipalad Prabhuji, really. But I had to think why I'm telling this person. Anyway, I said something after thinking 10, 20 seconds later, I said, Prabhuji, this point was, at least that point was very nice. And he said, yes, actually, that's a very nice point. He started all expanding more on that point. He said, no, that's a very nice point. He was not proud. I said that point, so I'm greater. He was saying, why are you glorifying me? And I got the idea. He said, when you glorify, he did not say that, but I heard in another lecture, when you glorify, you should have a reason for glorifying that person. He or she should have done that genuine seva. But encouraging other neophyte devotees, we should do that. Prabhuji, very nice you came and served Krishna, but again, has to be a genuine reason. Sometimes we go in the do, Prabhu, I'm not even a dust of your lotus feet. Where are your lotus feet? Give me your lotus feet. I want to drink the water. Listen, we are not on that stage. So it's just a representation of our own false ego. Because when I praise others, what I'm expecting, this person will praise me back. Actually, I'm not praising him. I'm looking forward for my praises. Why? Why? We already had enough of this, enough of this. Anyway, I don't know how I went in that direction. We haven't even started the verses yet. I was just sort of giving the context. Okay, let's move into the verse. Otherwise, we'll be still in the context. So who can read this verse? Now, many of you can read, but anyone volunteer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I can
Hare
read.
Krishna. Please, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
It's a prose verse, so don't worry about the tune. Just read it.
Vayu yanilam amritam
Vayur anilam amritam
atha idam bhasmatam shariram
atham idam bhasmantam shariram
om krita smara kritam smara
om krita smara kritam smara
krita smara kritam smara.
krita smara kritam smara.
And translation: let this temporary body be burnt to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifice, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Sorry, Vijay Gopi Mataji, you had two questions. Sorry, I only took one. We'll take that and then we'll come to the verse.
Sorry, Prabhu. Like, if somebody praises us and then we know that genuinely we are not fit for that praise, how do I politely tell them not to do that anymore?
See, you can't tell with everyone that thing because it depends on the person, and maybe you don't want to discourage. You literally say, I have learned this from my guru, Acharya, from Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada, and I've just repeated, which is true as well. Like 99% you see, we are repeating, 99%. We are hearing lectures, we are reading some Prabhupada books and making some notes, and we are repeating 99. 1%, Paramatma inspires in our heart as well, that is true. That's very little part. And that also Paramatma is giving us that memory. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Many times we come in the exam all prepared. On the exam, we forget everything. It happens. I'm not sure about you all. It happened with me. I prepared everything. On the exam day, I forget. Apohanam cha. So unless Paramatma allows you to remember that, you cannot do anything. So we know, we actually have no credit. And even if you think we have credit, how much is our credit? How much?
Like,
Very
for example,
little.
Prabhu, someone says like you are humble, and internally I know that I'm not humble.
Yes.
So I have to.
The truth is, we are trying to be humble. So, Prabhuji, Mataji, we are trying to be humble. We are not. Humility is a big thing, big thing. You read Chaitanya Charitamrita for the third verse of Sikshastakam. You see what the humility is. You see, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains the humility. Raghunath Das Goswami's humility. We are humble. We are just comparing an ant with a Himalaya Parvat. Yes, we are on the path, which is nice. But Radhanath Maharaj said, I'm seeing Radhanath Maharaj's picture behind you. So he says very nicely. He says in many, many classes, if devotees can do the third verse, it's nice. You should be doing 8th verse actually of Sikshastakam. Anyway, third verse. He said your humility or any other devotional quality which you think you have will be tested at the time of temptation. When everyone is nice to you and you're nice to everyone, yes, we are a devotee, I'm a devotee. As soon as a tempting tissue, someone challenges your false ego. Arey, how dare you say that? Huh? Even a slightest tinge of it, someone challenges our false ego, we feel bad, isn't it? It's true with me, I'm not sure about it. And that is my test. That is my test. Otherwise, yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You're so nice. Just wait, just wait. When something opposing comes in front of me. So that's my test. If I can tolerate those tempting situations. One philosopher said, some American philosopher I heard in a class, I can resist everything except temptation. I can resist everything except temptation. Keshav Maharaj said. Keshav Maharaj said. He named this person as well, which I forgot. Huh? So what can you do? Huh? See, I can resist everything, he said, except temptation. So this is our test. This is our test. So people say many things. And at the same time, people say bad things as well. So we should not get discouraged. Many times you'll get criticism. I'm telling both parts, right? Sometimes you'll get praises for which you know you have no credit. Sometimes you'll get criticism for which you know, honestly, means you don't deserve that criticism. For example, you haven't done that. Just ignore. I'm remembering Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He said, I heard it in the class, in one of his classes, he said, very genuinely, it's not, we can also say, but we have no meaning of that. He said, I'm beyond this praising and criticism. I had a Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class recently, which is glorification of Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And he was explaining, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was explaining how Gopal Krishna Maharaj, you may have heard that as well, 10 minutes class, very nice, was beyond this criticism. So we should never get too much encouraged. Yeah, encouragement is good, not too much discouraged. So if someone criticizes, we know we haven't done it. Hare Krishna. It's difficult to say. I'm saying very easily, struggling, but that's the sort of a measure. And then we'll be balanced, because if there is a man, may just wait, Apman is just behind it. This is a word of duality. It's a word of duality. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu himself said in the same clip, you can hear, I was also criticized. And when I heard it, I'm like, who will criticize Chaitanya Charan Prabhu? Like, come on. Huh? But he said, I also criticized. Anyway, Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So anyway, both sides we can manage if we understand the principles. We are extremely tiny for these things. One last thing which comes to my mind from Shastra, very nice. If someone wants to praise you, he or she should be praising you in your absence. That's a real praise. So you touch that person, you serve that person so nicely that that person really praises you when you're not present. That's a real praise. That means you have served that person. So we should try to serve in such a nice way. This person or this Prabhuji or Mata is really nice devotee, huh? They should say from the heart. That's a real thing. And that blessings goes to Krishna, and then Krishna will purify us more even. So that's very nice. Okay, thank you, Mata. Akhand Prabhu or Mataji.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to share something which I heard with
Yes.
a lecture in Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj.
Yes.
He said that in the womb of every happiness, there is a distress waiting to be born.
Yes. Yes. Very nice. And this is 522. Yehi sansparsha bhoga dukha yona evate adyantamanta konte nate shuramte buddha. So very true. Every sukha we are experiencing, there is a dukha. Because this world is made up of duality. So we should not have any faith literally in our physical position, in our mental position, only have faith in our Guru and his instruction, and Guru should hold us. Then we are safe. Even if we are holding, means we think I am following it, just wait, one slap of Maya, we'll be out. We'll be out. We'll make some offense towards a devotee or something like that. We will be out very soon. So yeah, very, very careful. Prabhupada said it's like Agni. Agni means fire. If you go fire, Prabhupada said, Vaishnava, fire gives you warmthness, which you love, right? But if you go too close to the fire, what happens? It will burn. If you go too close, casually, too close to a Vaishnava, you will get burnt actually. You'll get burnt. Very careful. Okay, let's start the verse. This is very beautiful verse, and 18 also, very, very nice verse. So this devotee very practically is saying, see this Sanskrit here, Krito Smar, Kritam Smar, Krito Smar, Kritam Smar. So what basically he's repeating 2 times the same line. And one line is saying, oh my Lord, again, oh my Lord, please remember what I've done. So he's not being arrogant here. He's not being arrogant. We should not look at that. But he's being, please be kind upon me. Whatever chota mota humne kiya hai, kuch to credit mila hoga. Amog Leela Prabhu tells that nice pastime that this guy went to the gate of Vaikuntha Loka and he said, I need an entry. I'm sure you would have all watched that. Tumne kya kiya hai? What have you done so you think you can come inside? I've chanted. I've chanted 16 rounds. Acha. You're chanting less, sleeping more. Okay, you'll get 2 marks. Acha, only 2 marks. Just like that. Mangala Aarti. 2 marks. Ekadashi, 2 marks. The Ekadashi, you eat more than the normal day. And Bhagavatam class, 2 marks. So like that. He was getting 2 marks. And then finally 90 marks. Who gave that 90 marks? Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, please. So this is our situation, huh? 2 marks. I may not even get 1 mark. Just duty, no love. So from that mood, this devotee is praying, and we should also have that genuine, please, my Lord, I'm not so good, but please do something. Okay. So Prabhupada, I'll just go through these headings here again. We've discussed enough about this verse as well. This material body is a foreign dress that must be given up. Again, we talk about it, but again, we should have like in front of us every day. Saying theoretically in class is very easy. When a problem comes, then we become disturbed. So we should remind ourselves, okay, the problem is temporary. This body is temporary. Our prarabdha is there. It has come, it will go. And Prabhupada gives this famous example, 220. Anyone remembers this verse, 220? सारे भगवत गीता पढ़ के भूल गए पासांसी जीर्णानि यथा विहाय पासांसी कपड़ा जीर्णानि पुराना जूना in Marathi they call it juna. Where is the Marathi people here? नहीं है माताजी. So juna, I'm sure other cultures may also have this. Oh, Marathi Mahavasa Prabhu is also here. Sorry, I was looking for Charu Mataji. Anyway, so Juna, Marathi mein, Juna, Basansi. So this dress will be given up. Don't be too much bothered about it. Living entity and exists even after annihilation of the material body. 4 and 5. Contrast of devotee conclusion of this foreign dress to the position of Brahmanas who don't realize Santarasa. Prabhupada is basically saying here, a living entity who wants to taste a stool is given a material body that is quite suitable for eating stool. Means the body of a hog or a tiger. Huh? So based on our habits, we get the next body. Material bodies of all animals and men are foreign to the living entity. They change according to the living entity's desire for sense gratification. Now, the Sanskrit says, burn me to the ashes. Huh? So his body will get burned to the ashes. So again, this devotee here has realized that okay, Rakshasas are coming, they're going to eat me, my body is going to get burnt, but that's fine. But what will happen to my soul? Please remember that. So don't be too much attached to the body. Again, saying is very easy, living is difficult, but again, we can remind ourselves again and again. When the problem comes, remind yourself, myself, this is temporary, this is temporary. This is the best paragraph. At least I love this paragraph a lot. Krishna never forgets our service to him. So no matter how small service, Prabhupada said in one class, at least I heard in a class that Prabhupada said this, that Krishna says, we may forget what we have done for Krishna, but Krishna never forgets. And you will remember the example of Draupadi. When Krishna's finger was cut in Hastinapur one day, and Draupadi was just standing next to Krishna, and she tore her sari, a new, very expensive sari. She immediately tore apart the piece of sari, and she put in the hand of Krishna like a bandage. And Krishna very gratefully said to Draupadi, I will repay every single thread of this cloth. Huh? And then later we know what happened to Draupadi and how Krishna helped. So again, this is not a material transaction here. I have done 100 thread seva to Krishna or Radha Gopinath. It doesn't work that way. But it was a love of Draupadi which Krishna was repaying. For gopis, Krishna says, I cannot repay your love at all. So your glories are the only repayment which I can do. And gopis became the most glorious of all the devotees. So it's not a material transaction. I have done this for this devotee, so he should also do this for me. No, that doesn't work here. That science doesn't work here. As we were discussing the other day, 1 minus 1 in material world is 1 minus 1 is 0. But 1 minus 1 in material world is, in spiritual world is what? 1. 1 plus 1 in material world is 2. 1 plus 1 in the spiritual world is 11. When 2 devotees are there, they can do the job of 11 devotees. Sometimes even 1 equals to 1 million. Prabhupada, 1. He can do the job of, what we will preach. We think we are preacher. What we will preach. Prabhupada preached. We are sitting in our home environment, nice jacket, nice windows are closed. It's very raining outside. Everyone is on Zoom. I don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to come anywhere. Just switch on the Zoom. That also people find difficult. They keep coming in and out. What we will preach? Prabhupada is preaching. Kadam Kanan Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Indradum Maharaj. You hear his stories. he is preaching, and many souls like him. So that's preaching, what we'll do. So Krishna never forgets. So the two words are given in Vishnu Sahasranam, spoken by Bhishma Pitama in Mahabharata about Krishna. The 1,000 names, the two names, very popular name, Nimisha and Animisha. Nimisha means palak, our eyelid. Huh? So Nimisha, sometime Lord become Nimisha, sometime Lord become Animisha. Nimisha means one who has closed his eyes. Close his eyes means he does not see your sinful actions. Because if Lord starts seeing our sinful actions, he will probably only see that. Not much is there in the account anyway, right? So much papas and aparad we have done. So Krishna became nimish sometime. That means closes his eyes. Anyone remembers an example where Krishna closes his eyes for a person? Putana. Putana came and Lord became nimisha, closed his eyes. He does not want to see. He does not want to see what Putana has all the plans, but he wants to know, oh, she has wore a dress of a gopi. She is here to feed me milk. Okay, chalo, you become a dhatri in the spiritual world. Huh? So Lord become nimisha, and Lord sometime become animisha. Lord just want to see. Any examples? Ajamil is also an example. Ajamil, Krishna took Ajamil back actually. Again, that 60-year-old is doesn't matter so much. That doesn't matter. It does not mean we do that. We're not saying that, but we cannot just judge on a face value. Okay, someone's saying something.
Lord Jagannath is also always seeing good things.
Sorry, say again, Mataji, last word.
Lord Jagannath is always looking for
Lord Jagannath, he doesn't even have eyelids, huh? Because when Maharaj was saying, when you go in front of Lord Jagannath, he's scanning through your zillions of life. Kabhi to fool chadhaya hoga. Some life he would have offered one flower, some water, some fruit. Huh? He's scanning through your millions of life. So go in front of Jagannath, just stand with folded hands. Dekh lo bhai. Look through. I'm looking at Manmohan Prabhu. He's doing all the x-rays and everything. Then also, sorry to say, doctors sometimes cannot see everything, isn't it? After all the ultrasound, scans, x-ray and whatnot. I don't even know the terms. Huh? Still sometimes they do wrong diagnosis. Here Krishna says, oh, in 50 lifetimes ago, when he was a kid, he offered me a tulsi leaf. He offered me a little angur. And then he says, okay, you become devotee. You join ISKCON. Jagannath said, you join ISKCON. Ho gaya kalyan. We are really Brahmand Brahmite kaun bhagyavan jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Peace. We are roaming in the Brahmand for zillions and zillions of life. We are here. Why? Not that we are great. Some devotee prayed for us. That sure of that. Sure of that. Some devotee said we were probably a cockroach in the last birth. And one devotee was about to step on us and he said, oh, sorry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. And we all here in human form. Huh? Famous story of Narad Muni, association of that worm. I'll not go in that story. So Krishna never forgets our service. So keep serving even if you don't feel like it. Bow down, serve, and especially serve the Vaishnavas. Prabhupada gives this famous verse, 8 points. Yam yam vapi samran bhavam tijatyante kalevaram. So our bhava is not fixed, but we should try to fix throughout our life. Ante Narayana Smriti. This is our goal. Krishna's mercy is ever available through devotional service. We discussed about it. And even a sudurachar, apiche suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Even if it's a sudurachar, he will become shipram very, very soon. Dharmatma. And examples, I remember many. Valmiki Muni. He was a sudurachar. He became Valmiki Muni. Sudurachar. Mragari, sudurachari became a dharmatma. So many examples are there. So if you or me, Jagai Madai, thank you, Prabhuji. अब आपको सुन सकते हैं. Thank you, Namata Prabhu. Jagai Madai. So if Jagai Madai, Ratnakar Daku, Mragari has hope, do you think we have hope? Yes or no? उतना तो पाप शायद नहीं किया है. Maybe at least in our memory we haven't done those. So we also have. So we should know. Chaitanya Prabhu says in one of the classes, you will only lose when you lose the hope. You will only lose the battle when you lose the hope. So never lose hope. No matter how much fallen activities we have done in the past, and whatever our past was, it doesn't matter. Once you're in Krishna consciousness, under direction of Prabhupada or devotees, we will go back to God. It is guaranteed. Yes, Prabhuji or Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Sometimes it is said that, people or devotees of this Kali Yuga actually may be worse than Jagai Madai, because once Jagai Madai surrendered, they
Yes.
completely surrendered and never looked back.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is very true. Our tendency to do sinful activities doesn't go. But Shukdev Goswami gives the answer in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1, I think it's 15th verse, if I'm not wrong. Take the shelter of Vasudev. If you take shelter of Vasudev, even those tendencies which are coming in your heart again and again and again will slowly but surely will go away. Huh? It will take some time. And you're right in that sense. Jagai Madhai, once surrendered, they never look back. We have surrendered to our spiritual master many, many years ago. We bow down to Prabhupada almost every day, maybe twice or thrice a day. But that surrender isn't there. But the hope is, Chaitanya Prabhu's example again, he says, if you can't reach to the stars, take the stairs. You can't reach to the stars. Huh? The highest goal is very, very high. Take the steps. Take the steps. Take the baby step. Just take one step. Don't worry about, am I reaching to my goal today? Don't worry about it. Take the steps, take the steps, take the steps, take the steps. And what Krishna will do, he will increase the length of those steps as if you have taken 10,000 steps. So you take one baby step. I'm remembering Adidev Prabhu, for example. If we take one step, how big it will be, Sundar Gopal Prabhu? What? 50 centimeters or something like that? Something like that. But if Adidev Prabhu is held by his father or mother, and they lift him up and then they put him on the other side of the room, that one step becomes like, 15-meter step. Because father has the capacity. Child doesn't have that capacity. But child's capacity to take that step or to intend to take that step is pleases the father. So just intend to please Krishna, at least to start with. Intend to please Krishna. Viraj Prabhu said in one class, we should cry for Krishna. But if we cannot cry for Krishna, we should cry for why we are not crying for Krishna. But even if you cannot cry for that, why you are not crying for Krishna, you should at least lament that you should cry one day that you are not crying for Krishna. So there are multi-layers thing, but that's fine. That's fine. We have lived here, Mataji, at least again can tell about myself, probably zillions and trillions of life, another few lifetimes. No, that should not be the goal. But Lord is very, very kind. Even if we take few more lifetimes, which will be practically the case, as per our Acharya, I'm not saying, I have no authority to say. Radha Govind Maharaj said, you'll take 10, 20 lifetimes if you're very serious. If you're very serious, at least 10, 20 lifetimes, you'll go back to Godhead. If you're very serious. Now, how serious we are, we only knows. Chalo, another 10, uske upar. So, we are in the queue. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will surely give us mercy. That is of sure. That is of sure. Just keep walking with Vaishnavas. Keep walking with Vaishnavas. Some Vaishnava will pick you, will take you. Chalo, सारा वो baggage होता है ना जैसे डाल दो. Baggage में कहीं ना कहीं चले जाएंगे हम लोग. Anyway, Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, so no worries. Okay, prepare for that by devotional service that we already discussed with multiple angles. Devotional service is our hope. Okay, let's move to the last verse. Beautiful verse. It's not a very big verse, so we can probably finish today. Anyone would like to read, take the glory of reading the last verse of Isopanishad?
I'll read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Verse 18. Agnenaya suputare asman
Agne Naya Supatha Raya Asman
Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan
Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan
Yuyodhya Asmad Yuranam Eno
Yoadhi Asmaj Juhuranam Eno
Bhuishtham Te Nama Yuktim Vidhema.
Bhuyistham Te Nama Uktim Vidhema.
Translation by Prabhupada. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisance, falling on the ground at your feet.
Oh my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reaction to my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my practice. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now the last line is very important. Please free me from the reactions to my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my progress. Now this line is very important for all of us, very practical line. Many times, although we want to do devotion service, but we cannot do devotion service because of two things. There can be multiple levels within those two categories. Sometimes by physical problems, right? Somebody's body is not well, for example, some diseases, some surgeries, so they just come upon us, and then we cannot perform the devotion service we want to perform, right? That's one problem. Why does that come? Because of a reaction. Some past reactions has come. Another side, you'll see a person sitting very nicely, smiling, very healthy, has his job and all that, but he's very much disturbed inside. So there are mental problems, isn't it? And many times we have more mental than the physical problems. Physical problem is not so big, huh? Mentals are very big, huh? They just consume us from inside, and we have no energy or inclination, you can say, to serve Krishna. Why do they come? Why do mental problems come? Anyone? Reactions of our past karma. So reactions of the past karma does not only come from a physical perspective, it also comes from a mental perspective. Prabhupada said many times, whatever mental anxieties we get, that's also our past karma. So if our past karma is stopping us to do the devotion service, do we feel bad about it? Many times you talk to devotees, you'll see, Prabhuji, I want to serve Krishna, but my body is not well, or my house situation is not well, or this is not well, that is not well. So many times, and you really feel about it, but you can't do much about it. So what this devotee, this Manu Maharaj, is praying to Krishna in this particular verse, please free me from the reactions of my past sins, because if my past sins are not burnt out, what will happen? I have to come back again, isn't it? Because I have to suffer those things, enjoy or suffer, whatever, even good things. So devotees praying to Krishna. Any parallel you can see of this verse from Bhagavad Gita, where Lord has already arranged for it? Very famous verse. Everyone knows that.
Neha Bikramanasosti Satyavayo Navidyate.
That's an encouraging verse. That's nice. But where Lord is talking about this problem which devotee is raising. So devotee is raising a point, a valid point. We all suffer from different reactions, and sometimes it does discourage us from devotion service. Nothing can stop us, that's for sure. Radhanath Maharaj said, you can serve Krishna anytime in any situation. If you're not serving, sorry to say, it's your problem. Now the form of the seva will change. That's different. You may be in the hospital, and anyway, you can serve Krishna. But a devotee is raising a valid problem here. What's the solution Krishna suggests? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami. How many papas Krishna will get rid of? How many? 1, 2, 3. How many papas?
Sarva.
Sarva. What's the word Krishna uses? What's the word? Sarva, sarva, sarva. Sarva means everything. Everything. So we should not be fearful. Krishna says, Ma suchaha. Ma means no. Sucha means daro. Daro mat. Do not be fearful. Ma suchaha. Because Krishna is able to burn everything. And now devotee is surrendering to Krishna. I offer you all obeisances falling on the ground. What does this mean? Sarva dharmanu parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. That's what this devotee is doing, right? See, I've given up everything. I'm in your shelter now. Lord Ram says in Ramayana, everyone would know that verse, famous one. Sakrad eva prapannoyam tav asmai iti yachate. What does it say? Sakrad. Even once someone comes and surrenders and says, Tab asmai, yachate. Yachate means he sort of begs, he requests to the Lord. Yachana karna, begging to the Lord from the heart. Tab asmai. What does he say? Tab asmai, main aapka hu. I am yours. So when I am yours, a child goes to the parent, to the father or the mother and say, Mama, I am yours. What does Mama say? No matter how angry Mama would be. Theek hai beta, aaja. Come, my child. No matter what he has done, he will come eventually. When Maharaj was giving this example, if a child does a mistake, even if Mama does a little slap to the child or something little bit, huh? And child starts crying. What does he do? What does the first thing child do after it started crying? He pulls the sari of mama. Mara bhi tumne hai, bachao bhi tum. You are only chastising me, now you only have to save me, right? So Krishna sometimes in the form of Maya chastises us. What should we do? Yes, Jiva Goswami says, if you're walking on the ground, we slip on the ground somehow, and we fall down. We slip, we fall down. Then how do we get up? The ground which was the cause of our fall down, we take the shelter of the same ground. We put our hand in the ground and we get up. We get up. So this is how we have to learn. So we offer our obeisances to Krishna and pray to Krishna, please. And what will Krishna do? Krishna will do. Krishna already says, Aham tvam sarupapebhyo. So Krishna will get rid of all the sinful actions. So it's just sincerely this devotee is presenting, I'm not pure, I'm not pure, I have imperfections, I have done many, many things which may not be appropriate. But Krishna, you are very, very kind. You're very, very kind. So please forgive all those past reactions and please take me under your shelter. So this is just to present the sincerity of the soul which is going towards Krishna, which is very nice. Okay, let's look through the purport. How obstacles on the spiritual path originate. So we discuss about it. They originate from our past reactions, and read in detail in Nectar of Devotion what those 4 categories are. We'll read there. High parentage doesn't guarantee self-realization. Prabhupada gives example of a son of a Brahmana may not be a Brahmana. Like son of a doctor may not be a doctor, because the father can give facility, opportunity to the son. Father cannot make him the doctor. He has to pass his exam. He has to do all the hard work. Son of a lawyer, Prabhupada said, may not be a lawyer. So similarly, if we do not avail this opportunity, will not just become, I think some philosophy, Prabhupada said in one of the class, says, once you have become human, you are destined to go to Sargloka, no matter what you do in human life. Prabhupada said that in the class, some philosophy. And he said, then what's the point of all these law books? Forget the spiritual parts. Law books also punish you. If you do good, you get prize. If you do bad, they punish you. So this is very like childish statement. You become human, you'll go back to God. No, it doesn't work that way. If you don't use this facility for devotional service, you will degrade, because soul is transmigrating. Soul is transmigrating. On the other hand, the devotee will get all facility by the omnipotence of the Lord. Krishna provides for his devotees. Again, very live example in front of us is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada materially had no facility, no money, no contact, no proper English as well, no bodily strength, no connection with American politics, nothing. And he created such a big empire, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, in which he created a building in which the whole world can live in. For a devotee, Lord gives direction and keeps him safe while others are on their own. This is very nice. Madhuri Mataji was giving this shloka 240 Neha Vikrama Shosti. This is how, even if you do the smallest seva, Lord, as a super soul, yesterday, Bir Krishna Maharaj was also saying, if you serve Krishna, if you serve your spiritual master, super soul will guide you. Actually, Maharaj said, super soul will come in front of you. This is the words Maharaj used. And this is from the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which Prabhupada has written the purport of the Puranjan Upakhyan. Super soul will come in front of you. That means not physically, it will come and guide you. It will come and guide you. So devotional service, if we are in that part of the world of ISKCON or devotee association, Lord will give direction and we are in safe hands. May not be perfect, we are in safe hands. While others are on their own. Why? Prabhupada gives example, super soul acts like a judge for the persons who are not devotees, but super souls acts like a father who are devotees. So father sometime will chastise. If you do wrong, father will chastise us. But that's fine, because he's our hitashi. He wants our benefit. That's why he's chastising. But a judge doesn't care. He will give you reward sometime. If you do good karma, he will give you good reward. If you do bad karma, he will give you bad reward. And how does that transition happen from Paramatma to Bhagwan? When a devotee sincerely prays to Krishna, Gopinath, please come and interfere in my life. Don't just stay like Paramatma. You are there, Paramatma, in my heart. But don't stay like Paramatma, become Bhagwan. That means you take over my life. So Sripala Prabhu said, when you sincerely pray to Krishna in the form of Paramatma, he will become from Paramatma to Krishna. And then he will not just be a Paramatma judge, good for good, bad for bad. No, he will become Bhagwan and he will come and slap. Stop, you cannot do this. Huh? And he will come in front of that Jiva like Guru. So he comes in two forms, as we know. From a physical perspective, he comes as Guru. From internal perspective, he acts like a Chaitya Guru. So Super Soul starts speaking to you. And in front of you, he will come as a Guru or devotees. Huh? So he will send Guru, he will send sadhus, he will send Shastras. Say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Inside also, no, I should not do this, I should not do this. So Super Soul is guiding. For other people, Super Soul is sleeping. Sometimes they don't even realize Super Soul is there. Okay. Last paragraph is stages from Shravan Kirtan to pure devotion. So this is Navvidha Bhakti. So when we start listening about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, Krishna acts in our life. I'll just read this last few lines. I know we're a little late. I'll try to wrap up quickly. By hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, one becomes cleansed of all undesirable things, and then one's devotion becomes fixed upon the Lord. At this stage, the devotee acquires a Brahminical qualification, and the effects of lower modes, passion and ignorance, completely vanish. The devotee becomes fully enlightened by virtue of his devotional service, and thus he comes to know the path of the Lord and the way to attain him. All the doubts diminish, he becomes a pure devotee. Shri Isopanishad ki jai. Okay, I'll stop here. If you have any questions, we still have one more class of revision next week. So the plan is next week, we'll go through the assignment first. So Manmohan Prabhuji will take us through all the question and answers. And then we will do a quick revision of the whole Isopanishad from introduction, invocation to the last mantra. So we'll just quickly cover the main points of each verse. We'll take every single verse. We'll just take some important point of that verse, connection of the verses and all that we'll do next week. And next Wednesday.
Important question for exam as well.
Important questions for exam as well. Absolutely, Mohit Prabhu. That's the most interesting topic. Yes, Prabhuji, we'll discuss about that as well. Now, Mohit Prabhu has instructed me, so I have to do that. Thank you, Prabhu. One more
For
quick
everyone's benefit.
For everyone's benefit. So, हम तो लोक हित के लिए कह रहे हैं, हमारा तो कोई स्वार्थी नहीं है. I have no selfish desires. Only for devotees.
Anyway, they're gonna get failed, Prabhu. So.
No problem. No one will fail. I've seen the assignment. Okay, on assignment, I'll just take 2-3 more minutes. Just one request. There's not talking about marks here. Marks is just secondary thing. When you give a citation, a reference, do not count that in your word count. That's a very standard practice. You can color code your citations. For example, a gray color, which I use, you don't have to. Any consistent color you can use. That's very nice. So you can say, it's from Prabhupada, from Bhagavad Gita, wherever. Try to use in essays, I'm talking the same book which you're talking. Don't go out too much from Bhagavatam, because again, it's our improvement. We are trying to go deeper in that book. So try to give references from the same book itself. Don't go out to anyone, any other book as much as possible, unless Prabhupada himself has given a reference and you are re-referencing that Prabhupada reference, which is fine. Try to dig more and more ideas. How can I prove this point from the same book which I'm writing the essay for? So NOI, NOD, try to do the same thing. Try to dig verses and the citations from the same book on which you are writing the essay. So it becomes more in your head. Otherwise, we know 2 verses from Bhagavad Gita, we'll keep reciting those verses. So please try to do that. Again, I'm not cutting marks or anything like that. It becomes more beautiful. So one color, do not count those words. And some copies I've seen most of the copies now. Your assignment are marked. I will be returning your copies in this week. So take a look at your copies. Marks will not be disclosed till the exam, which is fine. So I've done many copies have not been formatted properly. So one request, please format your copy nicely before you submit. The spacing, the coloring, do something nice before you submit. You can take help of another devotee if that's okay with you. Now exam, very quickly, exam will be on 19th of May on Sunday. It's only 1.5 hour exam. So it's a shorter exam. So we will start from 2:30 instead of 2, just to give you extra half an hour. Because later on you'll all enjoy, but that half an hour for your travel or for revising will be very good. So we'll start from 2:30, but please make sure you are in the room max by 2:15, except Mohit Prabhu, who always comes late because he gets stuck in the traffic. Anyway, so please come on time, relax. Exam is very easy. Read your assignment properly, read your notes properly. Again, try not to focus on the marks, but on your understanding as much as possible. Because that's the whole idea. This is just one system of assessing how much you have learned. Nothing much. These marks doesn't matter so much, but it's relatively very easy. Our Ghanshyam Prabhu is very, very kind always. And as I said, he has made the paper. It's 1.5 hours, a shorter exam. Bring your laptops, USBs, and email to me as you always do, and your chargers. And Sundar Gopal Prabhu will send you this. Again, it's starting from 2:30. Any other things, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, I'm forgetting?
No, Prabhu, I think that's
One thing actually I wanted to say, and again, it's a group question. Next week, should we do class on Wednesday or earlier? Because devotees may prefer not to go too close to the exam, which is fine. So I'm okay for Monday, Tuesday as well. If you prefer, we can have an earlier class so you get more time for revision and understanding, because we'll be discussing more things about the exam next week.
Tuesday is
Yes,
better.
Prabhu, Monday or Tuesday will be good for
Yeah.
you.
So let's decide a time and date. Time 7 to 9 is fine. Monday is okay. I'm okay. I'm not saying I'm not available on
Monday is
Wednesday.
good.
I am available.
Monday
But
is good.
Monday is good for most of the devotees. Is that okay? Please
Yeah.
join the last class, even if you have missed out some other classes, because we are doing the whole review. So please come. We are doing the assignment review. We are doing the whole Isopanishad review as much as we can in this 90 minutes or so. So please attend the full class. And then you will get some more insights, and then you have 5-6 days to prepare for the exam. And 19th, just for your information, is Ekadashi. So make sure you have some Ekadashi snacks in your bag when you come to temple, and relax. Please relax. This exam is not so tough, so relax and prepare nicely. Okay, let's stop here, and we'll see you on next Monday. So I'll tell the date. I don't know the date, but we'll see here.
it's going to be
13th of May, 7 p.m. We'll have the final class of Isopanishad. And following week after that, 19th, you have a day off, week off, sorry. And we'll start NOI from 29th of May. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, one very quick question.
Yes, Mata.
So, if the quotes or if the verses given in the purport, in Isopanishad purport are from other books, can we not quote them?
That's what I said. You can. If
You-
Prabhupada has quoted, you can. But right, this is from Isopanishad Mantra 15, Prabhupada purport. He has quoted 1427. He has done it. Prabhupada has done it. Huh?
Okay,
I'm
and
saying
if I
recite
have,
that.
okay, and
Take it
if
from
I have
Isopanishad. That's all I'm saying, Mataji.
heard other lectures, like I have
So
heard
quote it.
Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's, I think I
Absolutely
have
fine.
quoted
Yes.
Chaitanya Charan
So what you
Prabhu.
can do, Mata, put as a gray color, for example. So if you're, for your reference, you're putting gray color for Prabhupada, you can put for Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. I know one devotee, okay, I'll say Akhandasa Prabhu, he has written some questions which are not even an assignment, and he has written on the top, these questions are not in assignment. I'm like, all glories to Prabhuji. People are finding hard to do the assignment, and Prabhu, he writes the question, he got it from somewhere else, I think from my previous assignment, and he has written the answers. I'm like, all glories. And he's written fantastic, and many devotees also. I cannot say that. But Prabhuji, one example here. He has written like citations in gray, his examples in blue. Very nicely done formatting. He's written like mantra 5, mantra 6, mantra 8, mantra 11, mantra 12. Beautiful writing, beautiful writing. Again, many devotees have done it. So we can take inspiration from each other. So put it nicely, put it nicely. And again, I'm requesting all of, put your own thoughts. Please do not copy. You can copy, as I said, references and say Isopanishad Mantra 15 Prabhupada purport. That's fine, no problem with that. But write your own understanding. At the end of the day, you are not trying to impress anyone, except you're trying to understand that concept, because tomorrow you're supposed to explain this to others. So just be natural. I do not deduct mark for any formatting, but I'm requesting to format. Just, it looks nice. That's all. No, spelling check if you can do. Some assignments I have found really so many. I have personally done spell checks for the whole copy. I spent like 2 to 3 hours in reformatting all of the copies. So if you could do it, again, it's not about deducting the mark. So Bhakti Shastri for me is not the judgment of your English capacities. I'm not doing that. But it's nice. If you do a spell check, word is free. You can do a spell check, do some formatting after stop, make a space. Shlokas you can make in italics, Sanskrit words you can make in italics. It's very nice. Again, it's not about the marks here, because even if you don't know English, you can still be a very good devotee. You can still do a Bhakti Shastri. But we are doing that. So if you could do it, spend half an hour before submission. Don't submit last day. Devotees get stressed out, and I get stressed out because of you. I don't want anyone to get in trouble. So please do your assignment, NOI, NOD assignment on day 1. I know you know a lot by now, so start your assignment on day 1 and then improve it later when the date comes. Improve it. Don't leave it for the last day, because we don't know what last week or last day will life will bring to us. Don't leave it for the last day. Don't be in anxiety. Do devotional service with full happiness as much as possible. Huh? It's very beautiful. And you feel very nice actually after finishing it. Anyway, I'll stop. Sorry, I went 13 minutes over, but I think it's just one off. So I think you can excuse me for that. Okay, Hare Krishna. If